Yes, you're right. I do need to get a cameraman. Tonight, the cigar that we're going to be discussing is rolled in the Dominican Republic for Santiago Cigar Factory at their plant, at their factory, and it's called the Brazilian Gordo. It's a thick cigar, 6 inches long, 60 ring gauge. It's a pretty thick cigar. Gary here is going to light up his cigar. He's going to do it the toasting foot method. That's how he likes it. And as you can see, he just basically runs the flame over the foot for a couple seconds, and then he lights it up.
And even if you light the foot of the cigar by scorching it, you still need to rotate it while you're lighting it.
Yes, you do. So, the Brazilian Gordo, the reason that I decided to make this the first cigar we discuss in this series is because, quite honestly, I love this cigar. I can't, how many have I smoked of these since I've been coming here?
Oh my gosh, hundreds.
Yeah, probably.
Hundreds.
Yes, probably. I've purchased a bundle. I've bought singles. I love the taste of this cigar. And I smoke a lot of cigars, and this is easily one of my favorites on the market, period. And the good thing about it is that because they're a boutique cigar, they make and manufacture everything themselves and sell it here. Not everyone gets to enjoy the cigar.
You definitely have to come to Santiago to smoke this cigar.
Now, Gary, when creating this particular cigar, this was created for you guys at your shop in the Dominican Republic.
Yes, sir.
And your master roller's nephew is
Yes.
the one that blended it?
Yes, and he's also a master roller. His name is Jorgito. And what we told Jorgito was we wanted to have a Brazilian wrapped Gordo cigar, which just meant we wanted a 60 ring gauge, but we wanted it to be in a fuller bodied smoke. And through the process of trial and error, Jorgito actually settled on this blend, and when he sent us the samples of it, we told him, you can stop, that's our cigar.
And it's got a Brazilian wrapper. The wrapper itself is grown in the Mata Fina area of Brazil, and basically when it comes to growing and picking a wrapper, when you go to harvest the leaf, these are individually cut off the stalk and then barn dried. When you're doing an actual wrapper, you want a bigger piece of leaf because it's going to be encompassing the whole of the cigar. And so it's important that you hand harvest them one by one, because if you didn't, that's more of a filler harvest where they literally just take the entire stalk and then they hang them upside down usually in the curing bars.
Dried,
yeah.
and then it's baled on top of each other, and part of that baling process is also a fermentation process, and that's how some of your tobaccos will become stronger in smoke and stronger in flavor. They're constantly fermenting until they're separated. Once they're separated out, the fermentation process will stop.
Now tell us about the cigar. Obviously, the wrapper is a Brazilian sun-grown wrapper. It's a little on the stronger side, but it's definitely more medium to strong.
Very smooth for the body.
Very
smooth smoke.
And the Mata Fina area is known for wrapper that is very smooth.
Yes.
It definitely imparts, it's got a sweet flavor to it.
Yes, yes, it'll have a sweet flavor, and that is a little surprising to people at times when they're looking for a fuller smoke. They don't always tend to get that sweetness in that smoke, which is what sets this cigar apart.
Yes, and it definitely, though, if you want a cigar that has body to it, though, this is definitely a great cigar, and they do mail order, so keep that in mind.
You anything you'd like.
All right, so now with the construction of a cigar, you have the filler, you have the binder,
Yep.
then you have the wrapper.
Yes.
What's the binder on this?
The binder on this particular cigar is going to be an Indonesian binder. We use the Indonesian binder because it doesn't impart a lot of its own flavor or body, so it works very well as far as binding a cigar. You let your fillers and your wrapper breathe more, and you get more of the flavor from that, which is in a cigar where you want your flavor to come from.
It's true. It's true. And now the filler is...
The filler is going to be an all-Dominican blend, blended with our Seco and our Ligero, which we had showed you in the opening. And depending on the amount and percentage of each that you use will help determine the flavor and the body of your cigar.
And we're not going to tell you those percentages because we don't want you to steal it. It's a trade secret.
That is true.
Now, the wrapper itself on this, because of how it's grown, is a stronger tobacco while still being smooth as we specified. But now the Ligero is also part of the filler that adds some body to it.
Yes. Yes, very much so. That's going to be the predominant body tobacco in the cigar, followed by the wrapper. And with this particular wrapper, it's actually going to be what they consider a sun-grown wrapper.
Right, sun-grown.
And with the sun-grown wrappers, because they're grown in the direct sunlight, they tend to grow thicker and they accumulate more of their own oils. So when you smoke them, they are going to add body in a good way, but they will add body to the cigar due to the thickness of the leaf and the oils that is retained in the wrapper.
Right. And keep in mind when you're smoking a cigar, because the wrappers do have an oil content in them, as they burn and as you smoke them, the oil moves up. And it will alter the taste of cigar as you smoke it. Most of the time, the way it tastes when you first light it would not be the way it tastes by the time you're done with it.
No.
And that's because of how the oils are moving up. And I have to say that with this particular cigar, it's a masterfully rolled cigar.
Yes, yes, and that retention of the oil as you smoke it will certainly change not only the flavor in your cigar, but it will also influence the body of your cigar in a fuller way.
And the good thing about this particular cigar is sometimes when you're holding a cigar, you're able to tell how the wrapper itself is grown just by feel. And the feel of this cigar, you're going to have to take my word for it. They haven't invented anything yet where you can reach through and touch it. But when they do, that'd be kind of cool, kind of creepy also. It's got a very smooth feel to it. You can definitely tell there is a nice oil content in the leaf, but it's not over oiled. It's definitely aged and cured pretty much to perfection. The feel of the cigar, it's a hefty feel, but it feels right.